Hey everybody, it's Dr. Michael with Lighthouse Chiropractic, and this month we're talking about back to school. Yes, it's that time of year again where your kids are going to be returning to school. Now, whether it's in a classroom or perhaps returning to school at home, we want to come to you today with just some suggestions that you can have to set up your child's workstation. Whether they're going to be at home more often this year just because of the hybrid school, or it could be that they're homeschooled, or if they're going to be doing school in person in the classroom and they have to come home, we want to make sure that you guys have the best setup for your child so that they can have the most success. Now, everything is different this year and everybody's not sure what's going on, so we want to make sure that we give you just some big tips that you can do to help out your child. I want to talk about the difference between boys and girls when it comes to learning. And this is not across the board an absolute, but it is something that studies have shown that boys do learn differently than girls when it comes to their workstations. So we're going to start with Evan here. And being that he is a full of energy and lots of energy kind of kid, he learns best when he is standing. And so we created a workstation for him that allows him to stand up, and we have him at the counter here in the kitchen where he's got his computer and his book and his workstation. If you notice here, the biggest thing that this is doing for him is allowing him to move his feet and move his body so that he's not sedentary. Evan learns best this way, and some of your kids might do that too, especially those boys. And so when you're doing a workstation, obviously, and they have to stand, you want to try and find a countertop that's a little bit higher up, just so we can help with the posture. And you can see Evan's posture with his back and his ears and his shoulders. When he's leaning over, what we're noticing here, that spine is still somewhat straight. The bend is here versus at the neck or leaning the chin down. But if you notice here, that spine stays straight and he bends at the waist. And as long as he's moving back and forth between this position and this position, that's going to continue to help his back stay in movement and not be in one position for a lot of times. And so with boys, especially boys that have a lot of energy, having a workstation where they're standing is a good idea. Next, we're going to show you what if your child, whether it's a boy or a girl, does better not standing. How do we set up a workstation then? So if you have a child that learns better in a quieter space, maybe not in the middle of everything, and really needs to have kind of that cozy environment, a lot of times the girls like to do this. We put them in an environment where they can be kind of isolated. So this is Lydia. She's going to show you how she does her workstation. Go ahead and turn around and get to work. She's doing her book report on her summer reading. And now that summer is coming down to a close and we're going to be starting school here in the next couple weeks, she's getting ready for what she's going to be doing all year long. And so sometimes kids work better at a workstation like a desk where they are seated. Now for Lydia, what I've done is we've put her into a stool. This still allows her to have some movement in her lower half here. And as you can see, she's sitting on a stool with her feet still at a 90-degree angle. We've got a little box there for her to be put her feet on. And again, she leans over that desk. But what I really like about this workstation is she's squared up to it. And so everything is balanced. And yes, kids are going to work and their heads are going to lean over, but we always want to make sure that we're not having a lot of bend in the spine. You can see here the spine sits perfectly straight. We have a slight bend in the neck. But again, we have her arms resting on the desk, and so that allows her to balance really well. And again, this is away from the rest of some of the chaos of the house. And so this is in a room. We can do this in a basement. We can do this in a study. But some kids need to be in the middle of everything, and that helps them to learn. And some kids need to be isolated and they need to be in a quiet space. So we want to tell you guys that either way, we need to find success for your child. We need to figure out, is it going to be standing, is it sitting, and what kind of workstation. So we have lots of suggestions for you. We wanted to make sure that we gave you some examples, but if you have any questions, please comment below and let us know how we can best help you during this school year, and especially in a school year with a lot of unknowns coming up with Where are they going to school? Are they going to be in a classroom? Are they going to be at home? And how are they going to be just having the most successful school year? So hopefully these two examples helped you out, and we will see you next week when we talk about the next topic, which will be ADHD and how that affects our children and how we can help you, chiropractically speaking, with that.